good morning, and welcome. This is Kama Mahako. I am your host this morning, and we're going to be discussing a very heated topic. And this topic, it has been said to be a great divide, especially in the Black community. So we're talking about the passport bros. Men who refer to themselves as passport bros, they actually have an online community, and we're going to talk about who they are, what they do, what people have been saying about them. Ultimately, we want to get to how we feel about them, how each and every one of us feels about them. Do you even have an opinion? Do they even matter to you? You will decide. My personal opinion of them is that they are, as the topic says, a disgrace. That is my personal opinion. I see them as a disgrace to their race, and I'm going to tell you why. But we're going to look at, the different opinions because we want to be balanced. We want to be objective whenever we're looking at any issue. We want to be objective. We want to consider the other person's point of view because, hey, I am of the opinion that, we each stand at a unique place and at a unique time in the creation, and your view is going to be different from mine. It has to be. We're standing at different places. We're seeing things from different perspectives, and the best approach is to try, even if you can't empathize and you literally cannot see the entire person's view from their position, from what they are standing, but you can try to expose yourself to as many points of view on the matter so as to widen your perspective and just be more balanced in how you view things. So we are going to look at the different views, and if you have any other view or your personal take on the matter, by all means, I am encouraging you to let me know your views. Write in the comments. Let me know what you are saying about this. Because really, a program like this is not all about what I think. It is about what we all think. Without you, it makes absolutely no sense that I'm here yapping. I'm going to start by saying I'm going to make two statements, and later on, I'll elaborate on these two statements and tell you why I make these two statements. And the first statement I want to make is that the least desirable trait in a man is cowardice. The least desirable trait in a man is cowardice. And the least desirable trait in a woman is low self-esteem. Obviously, this is from my point of view. The least desirable trait in a woman is low self-esteem. Now, I'm going to, like I said, tell you why I'm saying this. Because I see the passport bros as cowards. That is how I look at them. And they have been called different names. They have been called predatory, their behavior in what they do. They have been called predatory, even pedophilic. They have been called misogynist, traitors. And the persons who call them these names clearly do so because they are seen as deserting their race. Now, what do the passport bros do? So they started online. It's an online community. They have a Facebook presence. Across social media, they have a presence, and their mandate is as mostly Black Americans. So these are mostly Black American males of all ages, of all classes, economic brackets. Their mandate is get your passport, which is why they're called the passport bros. Get your passport and travel to different parts of the world, but mainly they travel to countries that are in Latin America, certain South Asian countries, and the parts of Europe that are still developing. These are the main, and certain parts of the Caribbean. And it has been observed by persons with the eye of scrutiny that the places selected by these passport bros tend to have women who look a particular way. They have Eurocentric features. So even if they are from Latin America, they're of the fairer complexion. They have the long hair, the long flowing hair. They have the facial features of a woman who would be considered the standard of beauty, given Eurocentric standards. These women also tend to fall in the lower economic brackets, and this is one of the main things that is used to lash out against the passport bros, that they're actually indulging in economic manipulation, exploitation of these women. So they get their passports, they go traveling to these countries seeking a wife, right? They go seeking a wife. So they have found that the Black woman, at least the American Black woman, is no longer desirable to them for a number of reasons that we're going to look at as well. Why is the Black woman in America no longer desirable to these Black men in America? They are insisting that the women in these countries whom they go seeking wives of, they are more feminine, they are more submissive, more traditional in terms of their roles as women and wives. They see these women as more beautiful, and this is something that I've seen or heard the passport bros state, right? They are softer, they are more beautiful, they have their own hair, and this is something that clearly they say to the women, because when you watch the videos, because some of these women actually have come out and made videos, some of these women who they go to seek as mates are lashing back at the Black women to say, well, we have what your men desire. We have what you don't want. I actually saw one of them actually tugging at her hair, tugging at it to say, see, I have real hair. I have the real Brazilian hair. I have the real Indian hair that you women are spending thousands of dollars to get the wigs because you dislike your own hair, or your men dislike your hair. But here we have the real thing. Here we have the light skin that you women are bleaching your skin to look at. We have the real thing, and that is what you're so it has given these women so much confidence now to flaunt the features. And who can blame them? Who can blame them if you are going off buying wigs from these women, wigs with the hair off from these women, and you're buying the bleaching creams to lighten your skin? And I'm speaking now to Black women. Who can blame the women for saying, hey, I have what you wish you had. I naturally have what you wish you had. And here it is, your man is coming to me. He has outright rejected you. here you are coming to me, right? But so these men, they see these women as being more wife material, right? And she also happens to be, in many cases, impoverished. Now he's coming into these third world countries with his big US dollars, right? The big bad US dollar. He has that. He has a spending power. And he goes into this country where maybe the conversion rate is 1 to 100, 1 to 200, 1 to 1,000 even. So he goes with his $10, and to her, that is a lot of money, and that can cover a lot of bills, and that can even not just not just provide for her, but also provide for her family, because often this is a family deal, it's a family package, right? The family come with the territory, the family members come with the territory, and he will gladly sponsor this, at least in the initial stages. He's coming there as God. He's coming there as a savior. And this is one of the things that the passport bros say. These women treat them like they are the kings. They know how to treat a man like a king. Yes, if you are coming in with your big bad US dollar, you are going to be treated as the king because it is needed. But what are you getting in return? Are you getting love? Are you getting true companionship? Are you getting the true values that are required, that you will need to raise your children and to be a life mate for you? The kind of woman who is going to be receptive to you coming in with your cash, with her exchange rate 1 to 200, the kind of woman who will be so willing to accommodate you. You have to think, what is her motive as well? Because you, young man, you don't have a good motive towards her. What is her motive towards you? And is she really a submissive wife? Is she really a traditional wife? Is she going to be that for you? No, I don't know where these men get the impression that Hispanic women are submissive. Right? So Hispanic women, they have that, a lot of them have that black blood in their veins. They have that fire and that passion. And they are not submissive. They might be submissive in the initial stages to you because you have what they want. When you take them home to the US and they have established themselves and they get the green card or they get whatever, or they use you as a bouncing board to go on to what they really want and desire, then you're going to see the true nature of these women. And if you watch the videos with a discerning eye, if you listen to these women, you hear that. You will hear the fire coming out. You will hear the bitterness coming out. You will hear the low self-esteem coming out, right? And I always say, wherever you go, there you will be. So you, the man, abandoning your role, running off to another man's country, in another man's territory. Wise men don't behave like that. Wise men don't go into another man's territory to try and steal what is his. Wise, brave, honest men stay and face the fire and face the task that is ahead, which is to build his community, to build his women. They don't go running off to seize another man's property. Are you prepared to deal with the repercussions when these men start insisting, when these men start retaliating? Know that you have declared yourself and you have gone online and you have gone viral, you have gone global, and you have declared yourself as having the intention to go and take what another man has nurtured, what another culture has nurtured. You damaged yours. You damaged yours, abandoned yours, forsook yours. And now you're declaring that you want to go where the grass is greener. Right? Are you prepared for the repercussion? Because you can't handle business on the home front. And that is why your women don't find you desirable, because some of these passport bros are complaining, well, why are you up in arms? Why are you blaming us when we're just responding to the fact that Black women no longer find us desirable? Why is it? Why is it that your women no longer find you desirable? Have you thought about that? You see, Black men are not very good at taking accountability. They are not very good at internalizing and reflecting on their own actions to see, am I the one who may have caused this? Am I the reason why my women no longer find me desirable? Is it that I've been such a jerk, I've been such a dumb ass, I've been such a knucklehead that I have refused to see the good thing that was in front of me, and so I have now lost it. Having lost it, you're still not reflecting to see, what can I do to fix myself? You're running around the globe with your entrails seeping out, leaving that trail of slime, and you're taking that with you, right? Good morning, Betty. Thanks for joining. You're taking your slime, your trail of slime, for everyone to see. In Jamaica, we say the higher monkey climb, the more him body expose. The higher monkey climb, the more him body expose. The more you're declaring yourself now to the world, the more you're exposing yourself for the coward that you are. You are exposing yourself for the coward that you are. All right? Persons may ask, well, is this really a racial thing? Is it a racial thing? Why are you piping about Black men abandoning Black women? And is it racial, or is it more socioeconomic? Is it more of a third world, first world kind of thing? Where even if it is exploitation, yes, it's just a first world culture trying, as it usually does, to exploit a third world culture. Listen, these men, if you look at the photos speak for themselves. Look who it is that these Black men are showing you that they desire. Look who it is they go to. So to them, they're having the best of both worlds, right? To them, so they're getting the submissive woman, they're getting the woman who knows her traditional roles. But here's the thing, they're also getting the woman who looks more European. They're getting the woman who has the long flowing hair. And if they're going to countries like Brazil and Colombia and the Dominican Republic, these women also will have the curvaceous bodies, the booty that these Black men love. So they're getting the best of both worlds, right? They're getting the best of both worlds. And that is why to them, this is an excellent deal, right? This is the best deal ever for them. So let's look at the different opinion, the different things that people have been saying about the passport bros. And we're also going to look at what they are saying. Maybe we can start from there. What reasons are they giving for taking themselves up and traveling to these different places? Like I said, they travel to the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic being one of the main places they love to go. They travel to South and Central America. They love Brazil. They love Colombia. They love Mexico. They travel also to the Southeast Asian countries, right? And a few countries in Eastern Europe. What reasons are they giving, the passport bros, for taking themselves up, packing their suitcases, and going off? They're saying that they feel invisible in America. They feel invisible. They have been, well, we know how castrated they have been by the system itself. No one is denying that both Black men and women have been so horrendously treated by the system, mistreated, abused by the system. So there's that. They're also saying that they're invisible to the Black woman. She no longer sees them as men, she no longer desires them. And they're saying, well, okay, we're just responding to the scorn of the modern, independent, educated, sophisticated, financially stable Black woman. We're just responding because she doesn't want us. So we're just going where we are wanted. We're going where we're desired. And we do know that a lot of the women in these places, they do have a fantasy. As it regards the Black man, it's a sexual fantasy they have. Pretty much ends there. So they see him as, or they have heard he has been promoted as this stallion in bed. You know, he has been promoted as this chocolate god. It's a sexual thing, it's a fetish, and it's something, it is an acquired taste for them because they're not naturally that way. But it's also something that is fleeting. It is fleeting. It is easily gone over. And they might go through that phase where, yes, they want to see what the hullabaloo is all about, right? What's this much ado about? Is it much ado about nothing? And they often realize in dealing with this guy that it is much ado about nothing, just as the Black women have realized these are men who are very likely to, yeah, you're gonna get a nice sort out, as we say in Jamaica, you're gonna get a good sort out sexually. But that's pretty much all he has. Many Black men think their sexual prowess is all they have to contribute to the world. And just as they abandon the Black woman, they will abandon other women, right? Just as they do not stand in their masculinity in terms of providing, in terms of protecting, in terms of their physical presence to be there for their children. It's the same way they're going to act. They don't know any other way. They don't know any other way. For much of these men, the ones who have the tendency to run as they are running now, those ones with that tendency, they don't know any other way. And the same way they behave towards their women, this is how they're going to behave towards you. You, the women in these countries that they're coming to. This is how they are likely to behave. So, yes, the Black woman who has been single for so long because either she has been abandoned or she has just gotten to the point where the frustration drove her into being single, or she was abandoned, she was made a single mother. and she has had to stand to the test and do what she had to do. And now she's educated. Now she has her own business. Now she sees that she has to raise her standards, because if she lowers them or she keeps them low as they have been, and letting man after man after black man, and he comes and does the same thing, and then he no longer values her, so her value diminishes the more encounters she has with him. So she has decided to up her standards, and now she's demanding a certain thing, right? Which, because the black man is not advancing himself, he no longer meets her new standards. So he feels now unwanted because she will not let him in anyhow, anyway. He feels unwanted. So he's using this now as an excuse to abandon ship and to go to what somebody else has created, what somebody else has nurtured, what other men have established in their communities. He wants that. He doesn't want to stay and fix his, right? So some black women are saying, "Oh my God, passport bros, they're leaving. Stop them. By all means, stop them. Don't let them leave. Don't let them go to these women. We're losing our men. We have already lost a substantial number of them to the prison system, to the graveyard, to homosexuality, to the infirm, to the insane asylum. We have lost so many of them. We can't afford to lose anymore." So there are black women on the internet campaigning, pleading, trying to drive some kind of rationality into these men to say, "Do not abandon us." And these women themselves have been chastised as pygmies and idiots, because there are other women who are saying, "Hey, let them go. Let them go. Good riddance." So So some are saying, "Oh my God, stop them." And some are saying, "Listen, let them go. We'll finally get rid of them. Let them go in peace." Why did this day take so long to arrive? It's finally here. Let them go in peace. And some are nonchalant about the whole thing. Some are saying, "Well, these men, maybe it's a good thing. They're going to travel, they're going to see the world." Because a lot of black men they did not even think of getting a passport to even travel the world, to see the sights, to expose themselves to different cultures. So people are saying, "Well, if the guys want to go, and see the world and experience new cultures and experience new people, I mean, why not? Why should we try to stop them? Let them go and see what's out there. At least it's a way of expanding their minds. It's a way of developing themselves, right? So let them go and do it." And for the ones who are saying good riddance, they're also saying, "Hey, listen, we know what these men are. We already have experienced them. We know what they come with. And we have decided we don't want that. These other women too will realize who and what they are. And these other women too will in time come to the same conclusion, right? That they are bums, they are deserters, they are abusers." These women will realize it, just as we realized it. And there are more harsh criticisms. There are persons who are actually saying this is exploitation. This is on an international scale. This is exploitation of third world countries by a first world power, right? Albeit in black faces, but still representing a first world power taking advantage of persons who are financially suffering the socioeconomic condition in a lot of these places, where they actively seek out these places, right? Because I've heard the passport bros, a lot of them say they deliberately seek out these places. They want to ensure that these women are in a certain socioeconomic category. They want to ensure that they are needed, that they, the men, are needed. And this is how they're going to be treated like kings, right? This is how, because the balance is the disparity is so great that when you come with the bare minimum, because some of these men really and truly have the bare minimum, that's all they have. But their bare minimum is seen as wow, right? When they come with a little $100, like a $500, and that is converted to her dollar or peso or whatever it is she uses, her currency, when it's converted to her currency, it seems like a whole lot, right? So he's now the boss, he's now the king. And when she's going to react to you based solely on that disparity, then that is exploitation. When she would have done otherwise, if she had not been impoverished, she probably would not have found you so attractive. So the power that you're wielding is as a result of the weight of your pocket. And so, yes, she will appear submissive, she will concede, she will allow certain things that maybe she wouldn't normally allow. But is that the kind of mate that you really want, though? Is that a life partner? Is that love, or is it that love doesn't matter? I actually heard a passport bro say traditionally marriages were not based on love. Marriage was always a business contract. Marriage was traditionally business based, not romantic. So they're saying, oh, please, save us with this speech about love and affection and all of that stuff. They're saying, well, marriages were not traditionally based on love. Marriages were based on business, what is best for the individuals in terms of more tangible economic, social prospects. Good morning, walking the talk. Welcome to the conversation. Let me know what you think. How do you feel about these so-called passport bros? Are there passport sisters? Are there women who are doing the same thing? Well, certainly, if they are, they have not made that declaration. They have not seen fit to make such a declaration. No, these men who, because these men because they have been so vocal about what they're doing, it raises the suspicion. It does raise the suspicion that they might be doing this out of spite. Because they want to be seen. They want you to see that here, this is what we are doing. So it looks to black women as, oh, so you're doing this out of spite. You're doing this as a response. All right. So walking the talk is asking, who are these passport bros? So these are men Black men, typically from the United States, who are involved in a movement. It's a movement of Black men who are saying, we are going to other countries to find our wives. And they tend to go to countries and seek out women who look a particular way and who don't look like the typical Black woman, and who are also impoverished. And so his earning power gives him the leverage, gives him the advantage over her. And he sees her, or describes her as being more submissive, more feminine, more desirable as a wife. So those are the passport bros, right? It's an international movement composed mainly of Black Americans, Black men from the United States, flying into these countries, spending some time seeking out women as mates, as potential wives, as potential mothers for their children. So the intention is to take her back to the United States, get her established, get her a green card, get her, you know, as his partner. I suppose for some of them, it doesn't go that far. For some of them, it's just to travel, to meet these women, to have encounters, to have that experience, and I guess see what comes of it, right? But they're basically saying they don't find Black American women desirable as mates. They are put off by the fact that to them, she is more masculine. She's the Black woman in America now is described as a masculine woman. And to these men who, let me tell you, if you ask any of them, they will declare themselves as alpha males because that's the buzzword nowadays. Almost every man you meet today will tell you he's an alpha male. And who is this alpha male? We looked briefly at it last week, and I really want to dive deep into it and examine it as a discussion by itself, right? But the alpha male is a dominant male, is somebody who is the leader, the ruler, socially and in terms of relationship wise. He is the head, he is the boss, he calls the shots. So these men are saying, what do we desire? They're letting us know what they find desirable. And they pin it down to three things. They're saying in women, what we look for are three main things. She must be young, typically under 30. She must be submissive, and she must be inexperienced. By inexperienced, they mean sexually. So you should have no body count or low body count. The number of sexual experiences that she has had should be none prior or very low. These men are saying these are the three things that they find most attractive in a woman: her youth, her femininity, how submissive she is, and the fact that she has not been exposed to a lot of men, to a lot of other men. So the Black women from whom they are fleeing are saying, well, I am desirable because I am independent, I'm successful, yes, I am mature. I may have had kids before, I may have been around the block a couple times before, but I'm all the better for it. I am wiser. Blah, blah, blah. And these men are saying, well, you don't get to decide what is the most desirable thing for us. We get to decide what is most desirable for us. And we are saying we do not desire independence in a woman. We do not desire success in a woman. And we certainly do not desire experience in a woman. And to them, their opinion is what matters because they get to choose. And they are saying, well, we don't find you attractive in your independence, in your education, in your boss lady, 21st century, blah, blah, blah. We don't find it attractive. As a matter of fact, we find it very repulsive. That's what they're saying. And these other women, these other women with the soft, long hair, with the light, delicate skin, we find them most desirable because they will submit to us. Now, we don't know if the other criteria are being met. Well, let me hear what you have to say. I am very interested in what others have to say about this. How do you feel about the passport bros, right? Because they are flying high and mighty. They feel very empowered. This is a movement that makes these Black men feel very empowered, very liberated. They do feel very alpha at this moment in time. They do feel like they are calling the shots. They do feel like they have gotten the attention of Black women. And if you have come to see yourself as invisible, and now you are visible because of this thing that you are doing, I can see where it can be very empowering. But is it really? Are you really showing how powerful you are, Black men? Or are you showing how much of a coward you are in deserting your counterpart? You see, Black women have had to be masculine. You know why? Because she has had to shoulder the roles of both the female and the male. You know why? Because you have deserted her so much. You have left her standing, having to raise children. Right? She has been having to raise children on her own. All right, so walking the talk, you're saying, while some will call it exploitation, others see this as an opportunity to have a man. Yes, and I'm telling you, I've watched a lot of videos with some of these women in the other countries, right? So these are the mates now of the passport bros. They're saying, hey, Black woman, guess what? We have your man. We know how to treat him. We know how to appreciate him. Here he is. We have him. So they are using it to flaunt. They are using it to tout Black women, right? They're saying, hey, you don't just want our hair. You don't just want our skin. You know what else you want? You want your man. And you know who has him? We have him. And we're going to keep him because we know how to hold him. You don't know how to hold a man. You don't know how to keep a man. That's what these women are saying. And they're saying it with attitude. They're saying it with spite. A lot of bitterness. If you watch some of these videos, you'll see a lot of bitterness coming through, right? So it's like everybody's ganging up on the Black woman when all she was doing was to fill in for the missing men in the first place. What did the Black woman do to anyone? What has the Black woman done to anyone? She just was filling the role. What do the women think men need? Well, the men are telling them what they need. The men are telling them they need submission. They need you to shut up when they talk. That's what they need. They need you to cook and clean and wash and shut up. Shut the fuck up. That's what they need. And the Black woman doesn't do that. So he doesn't need her. And he's not realizing that he made her have to stand in her masculinity just to hold the family together. Some of these very passport bros, check them and ask them, was a father in your home who had to stand up and be the man as well as the woman? Was it not your mother? If she was resting in her femininity, could she have raised you when your father abandoned you? You put the black woman, we all as blacks, in this very minute, and we need to remember that slavery is a very small period of black history. We didn't come from slavery. Slavery was a small little period, but it was a devastating period, and it damaged us in ways that we are yet to realize. Coming out of that, the black man did not stand as firm as a black woman. She had to shoulder much of that recuperation and still having to shoulder much of it. Now she's being blamed. She's being blamed for standing in where you men fell short. You can't raise a family as a woman just being a feminine woman. If you're gonna hold it together like it should be held together, you're going to have to bring out some of your masculine just to hold it together. And if you have to do that for so long, it will almost seem as if this is your nature. But no, it is not. It is not. It's something that she has had to do. She has had to go out there and be educated and be independent because she had no choice. And now you're saying, well, I don't find her desirable. Okay. But again, I say, wherever you go, there you will be. The same qualities that made you wreck things on the home front. Because you see, you passport bros, you have not changed. You don't see where you need to change. You don't see where you need to heal. You don't see where you need to improve and advance yourself. So you're running from it and taking the same bad tendencies with you. And wherever you go, there you will be. So you're going to wreck. Wherever it is you're going to wreck it because you have not healed. You have not advanced yourself any. It's the same old you. It's the same old you. And these women are going to realize it. So walking the talk is saying because the black man was not around, he was probably in jail, lynched, or on the run. Some black men had no choice. Some were simply assholes found in other culture. Yes, this is true. But the black woman isn't blaming him. She had to fill in for him and she's saying, okay, let us build together, let us heal together. But he's not doing, he's saying, I need to run from this situation. I need to run. He's on the run. The black woman understands what we went through. She understands that we need to fix it together. And she has stuck it out. And now he has driven her to the point where she's saying this bomb, this guy, he's not pulling his weight. He's not even protecting me. The statistics now in America, a black woman is killed by a black man every 6 hours in America, by a black man. A black woman is killed by a black man every 6 hours in America. The black woman is not protected on any front. She's not protected from her own, let alone to be protected from the system, the oppressive system that she lives under. She's not protected, so she has to protect herself. And when she protects herself, she's called too masculine. How is she to win? He's abandoning her, and when she fills in and protects herself and her children, she's seen as too masculine. When she goes out to get it, to ensure that she and her children eat and have a roof over their heads and have clothes on their backs, she goes out and does what she needs to do. Now she is called too masculine. Malcolm X said, they will clip your wings and then accuse you of not being able to fly. They will clip your wings and then say, oh, you can't fly. We don't like you. You can't fly. I said before, cowardice is the least desirable trait in a man, in my opinion. Cowardice, for me, cowardice is the least desirable trait. And low self-esteem is the least desirable trait in a woman. And here we have, lo and behold, the two of them merging. We have the cowardice in the passport bro, running, fleeing. And we have the low self-esteem in these women who don't see any other way out than to hitch a ride on these spineless so-called men, these poor excuses for men. So when you have cowardice clashing with low self-esteem, what's likely to result? We're going to see, because they have declared themselves, they have said, hey, look at me over here, shine the spotlight on me. So everybody's looking now. So we will see what will be the result of this. And it's easy to spot spite. It's when your intention is spiteful, it's very easy to spot it. It's very easy to spot it. And I see spite in this passport bro movement. I see spite. I see contempt. These black guys are being very contemptuous. So they are going to get these women not as mates, no. They're going to get them as trophies to come back and hold it in front of the black woman and say, hey, look what I got. Look what I got. You see, some of these men, some of them, you know that some of these passport bros are not even available yet to travel. If you go on their site and you look at some of the comments and you watch some of the videos, some of them are still in jail. Some of them are incarcerated. They're waiting, hoping for parole. They're on probation. They're on child support. They're on all kind of, some of them are not employed. For some, it's still a dream. It's something to look forward to. So they're seeing these men romanticizing this, traveling and go and get these beautiful women, aka don't look like a black woman. And it's a fantasy for them. They wish, because in their minds, oh, these guys are there traveling the world and they're getting to sleep with all these women and they have great spending power in these countries and they can do what they want, right? It cannot even be a reality for many of them because they don't have the wherewithal even to do that. Not even to do that. And like I said, we don't know what the counterpart are. Are there women Is there a counterpart to this? Apart from Stella, we all know what happened with Stella, right? Are there women? Because you see, the black woman, if the black woman does this, like I said, we don't know because she has not declared it. But a sane person would not declare such a thing, because a sane person will understand how you're going to be viewed by the world, right? So now it seems like it's a clash between these weak ass black men and the so-called strong modern black woman, right? Why does he not find her desirable? According to him, right, the standards of men, and this is right across the board for him, men in general, they're saying, men in general desire young, submissive, inexperienced women. And if you think of the black man, the black woman now in the United States, because we're using the United States as the base, since these men are based in the US, right? But this is a trend among black women worldwide. They are the ones who are more likely to be more educated. If you look in the schools and colleges, universities, this is worldwide. More women than men. New businesses being started, more women than men. So the black woman is not being told her standards are too high. Her standards are too high for the average black man to meet. So she has advanced herself outside of what is attainable to most black men. This is what they're saying. So it's her fault. It's her fault for wanting to advance. It's her fault for raising her standards. So now she's being spited. It is spite. I see spite. I smell it. It's easy to see. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a spiteful act of contempt on behalf of these passport bros? Because if you were just doing it for your personal sake, if you have a personal preference, if you have a personal agenda, you would do it and shut your mouth and go about your business, and nobody has to know what you're doing. But to form this posse and declare and say, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing, I see clear spite and contempt. And it's also showing your fanny and showing you for the coward that you are. Before I go, I want to share with you an excerpt from a poem from one of my favorite, absolutely favorite black poets, and that's Haki Madhubuti. And Haki Madhubuti wrote this poem long, long ago, decades ago. He was most active in the 1970s. But this poem is called Black Man, and it was released with a soundtrack. So it's Haki Madhubuti and Nation, that's the name of the group. So I'm just going to read a short little part. If you were to listen to the actual poem, it would be 10 minutes long, right? It's a very long poem. But I always draw for this poem when I think of the ideal black man, and I think Haki Madhubuti summed it up so well in terms of he's idealistic as I am. It's a very idealistic poem, but it sums up, what the black man must be, what the black man should aspire to be. So I'm going to share with you a short piece of that poem. The title of the poem is Black Man, Black Men, right? So it's Black Men by Haki Madhubuti. So he's talking about what the brothers need to be, right? And he's saying brothers hard in consciousness and body. Hard in consciousness and body. So we all know. And while I'm reading, I'm going to be commenting as well, right? We all know that, yeah, the black man is admired for his physique, his chocolate skin, his well-toned physique, particularly the young black man, the black man in his prime. You know, he's admired. So he is hard in body, but is he hard in consciousness? That's the main thing. Is he hard in consciousness? So Haki is saying these brothers, they must be hard in consciousness and body. Brothers who understand and know the way. We look for men to fight men. And I'm saying we don't look for men to flee, to run away from their responsibilities, to run away from their counterparts. How are they going to fight men if they themselves are cowards? The poem continues, we will recognize these brothers by the way they act and move throughout the world, right? Throughout the world. So these passport bros have shown themselves. You know what? I think I should actually share the screen so you can actually see the parts of you can see the difference with the poem itself and what I am the poem itself and what I am reading. Hold on. I'm not seeing it on the screen. Okay, I think I can't. I think I'm not able to share it on the screen. All right, but let me continue reading. So it says, we will recognize these brothers by the way they act and move throughout the world. There will be a strange force about them. There will be unspoken answers in them. There will be confidence and sureness in them. There will be a quiet saneness about them. These men, these brothers, will at first seem strange and unusual. This will not be the case for long. They will train others, and the discipline they display will become a way of life for many. They know that this is difficult, but this is the life, the way they have chosen for themselves, for us, for life. They will be the examples, they will be the answers, they will be the first line builders, they will be the creators. They will be the first to give up the weakening pleasures. They will be the first to share Black value systems. They will be the workers. They will be the fathers. They will be the scholars. They will be the providers. They will be the lawyers, doctors, farmers, priests, and all that is needed for development and growth. You will recognize these brothers, and they will not betray you. Very beautiful. This is just a part of it, and I would encourage you to find that poem. It's on YouTube, it's on other places. Black Men or Black Man by Haki Madhubuti. Have a listen in. It's actually a sound, it has a soundtrack to it, and in combination, the words and the soundtrack, it just takes you to another place, right? And I would really love for our brothers to come into that ideology of the solid black man, the black man that's not running about chasing other people's things, but who has his own and is able to stand his ground and defend his own. Don't leave your own women unguarded, unprotected, and you're chasing other people frogtail around the globe. You're looking like an ass. You're looking like a coward. That's how the world sees you. You can't leave your own thing undefended and then you run to another man's thing and thinking that you're this alpha. That's not the behavior of an alpha. You're a coward, and that is the least attractive trait in a man is cowardice. And that is how I'm going to end this morning. But I really want to know your thoughts. So if you're watching this after the live ends, just drop a comment and let me know how you feel about these so-called passport bros. So that's it from me this morning. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week when we have another important topic.